Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is doing good. Hope everyone's doing great. I am feeling a whole lot better. For those of you guys didn't know, I was pretty sick this past week. Um, but now I'm like 100%. I'm feeling like so much super better. Got all my energy back and everything. Even got my voice back. So I'm good. All right. So I'm glad you guys could see me and hear me okay. So I don't see anybody saying, hey, Becky, thank you for coming on and thank you so much for my present. Mello loves it. And I got my little hanging thing and I'm going to have Fred hang it up for me this week and I'm going to put it right underneath my red sewing. I got to show you guys what Becky got me. I got to show you this. This is so cute. I can't wait to hang it up. Isn't this adorable? I'm going to hang it up right here. I think it's going to look so cute because it's going to show. See? It's going to show really well. I'll show you when we hang it up. But it's going to look so super cute on the yellow and stuff. So, Becky, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And Mello loves his treats, okay? He ate them all already. You believe that? So, and so he couldn't just have one. All right. Okay, guys, let's get started. Okay, for those of you guys that have been part of the Giftmas. Oh my God. The Esther gift exchange. The gifts should have gone out by now. I know that sometimes things happen and you get them out a little late, but please do try to get them out to your folks as soon as possible because next Friday is show and tell. So that's when we all like to show each other what we got. And, I kind of love that. I think to me, that's the most awesome part of it because that's when you really get to see what everybody did. So I think that's like so super cool. And yeah, so today I want to talk to you guys about embroidering during the holiday season, just to give you guys an idea of how things have been going on for me so far, since I have been doing this for a while, and I know that in previous videos I had talked to you guys about improving your processes and stuff. So I wanted to kind of share with you guys this Friday how things have been going for me and what have been some of the most effective processes that I have implemented so far. I will tell you this year, as busy as it has been, because I have gotten over 60 orders since December 1st. And that's not even counting the orders that I have been getting from my neighborhood and people locally as well, because I gotten a couple of people that reached out to me outside of my neighborhood. So apparently, the word has really spread. And it has really been a lot easier this year for me. I am really, really shocked. A couple of years before this year, during the holiday season, I will tell you I've been a mess, right? Because orders kept coming in. The embroidery machines were on full blast, even most of the night. But I will tell you this time, not only have I been embroidering during the day, I have even had the ability to shut off the machines at night, get a good rest. And even though I was sick this whole week, I was still able to take it easy and get my orders done. And I was just like, wow. I'm really impressed at how much, all my stuff have really improved, right? So I wanted to share with you some of the things that I feel has really helped me to step up the game and really be able to handle the workload and not feel like I'm losing my mind, right? So I kind of wrote a couple of them. Okay, now the handling of the orders. Okay, as you guys know, I take orders locally and I also take them online as well. I will tell you this: the online orders were flying in. Okay, and the local orders were flying in as well. But one of the things that I really liked about what I've changed is how I take the local orders. Okay. And also how I am processing my online orders as well. Now, let's talk about the local orders first. There have been times when I had gotten in the past where people would just come in, and I don't know if you guys can hear, but Mello got a new bone. So, yes, Mello. And I don't know if you guys can hear him. He's kind of like, playing with it a lot. So, you want to come in, Mello? You want to come in? Come on in. All right, I got to help him because the bone is big. Hold on. Come on. Oh, Mello. All right. This is his bone. There you go. All right. Okay. You happy? You a happy dog. I know you are. You're happy. Okay. Go play with your bone. Go play with your bone. Yes. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So let's get back to it. All right. He's going to go back to his bone soon. So anyway, the local orders. Okay. I would usually get a lot of people just showing up and they were dropping off all their orders, and all the orders were supposedly in a rush and all that kind of stuff. Well, I don't know. For those of you guys that have watched me for some time, know that I came out and I said, the heck with that. I'm not just taking orders like that anymore. I'm planning my orders, right? So I went and then I said, okay, I got an appointment book. That has been the smartest thing I've ever did, because I will tell you, when people call me and they say, I want something embroidered, I open up that book and I'm telling them when I can actually process the job for them. Okay. I do not take the rush orders. Okay. I chose not to do that. Even though some people would, be like, oh, I'll pay extra. No, I'm not doing that. Now, the reason why I chose not to do it, you can if you want to, but it's because I didn't want to deal with the stress. Okay. Because once you throw off the schedule, I'm putting more stress on myself. And to me, my me time is becoming more and more important. Now, have I had time to do other sewing projects? That I have not. But I did have time to sleep. And that's one of the things that I was really excited about, that I was able to actually sleep 8 hours. I was like, wow. So I was content with that. But the appointment book has really been a game changer for me. Okay. I schedule it and I only have a specific time frame that I will only work on the local orders. The rest of the time, I'm working on my online orders. And that works really, really well, because sometimes when people were like, well, can I get it this weekend? I'll be like, nope, I can only provide it to you by Monday or Tuesday. I would look at my book. And a lot of times I found that customers were okay with it, Now, I am sure that as we get closer to the 25th, I will end up getting someone that is going to show up at the door with a stocking. But I have already told myself, we're not doing that, because, I have a family member that's going to visit me at the end of this month. So we in the Woods house, we are delaying Christmas. We're actually going to celebrate Christmas December 30th when my cousin comes to visit, because, I wanted us to do it as a family. But just because I'm delaying the Christmas for us, that doesn't mean it's for me to and do orders, okay? Because I don't want to work on orders. What I actually want to do during that time frame between Christmas and until she arrives is that's the time that I'm going to use for that. I can go ahead and I can create my own gifts for my family members. So we're going to actually open up our presents December 30th when she arrives. So, that appointment book has really been a godsend. It really, really has. I'm really happy that I have done that. It has been a total game changer for local orders. Now, let's talk about the online orders. One of the things that I've done that I never did before, and I sometimes wish I had did this before, was my personalized items. Okay. If you are selling stuff that is a standard design. Like some of you guys know I love selling my kitchen towels and stuff. They're usually a really big hit. I have several standard kitchen towels. Now, one of the things is I've talked to you guys in the past about watching your sales, looking at what's hot, what's not, what's selling, what's considered your best sellers, which are they sell but not that great. The reason why it's so important for you to analyze how your sales is doing is because that can kind of help you predict what's going to be coming out the door. Okay. So I do have some that are best sellers for me. So when they're a standard design, what I usually do is I will embroider some of those items in advance. I'm not telling you to go ahead and embroider 20 of them. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that you kind of have an idea of how much you're going to sell. So what I usually do is I will embroider about maybe 5 of them, package them up and put them away. And then when the sale comes, I don't have to turn on the embroidery machine. All I have to do is take it off the shelf, package it, and ship it off. Now, let's talk about the personalized items. Some of your designs that you do, okay, if it's personalized, this is what I started doing. I will create the product and I will leave out the name, okay? You embroider the whole design, you just leave out the name. When I remove it from the machine, I do not tear off the stabilizer and I do not take off the water soluble stabilizer on top. What I do is I just fold it and I put it away. When an order comes in that's personalized, I take it out, rehoop it. I just in Brilliance, I create the name. I take it to my multi-needle machine that has the scanner. I scan it with the name, and then what I do is I move the name to the spot that is supposed to be embroidered on. Okay, and I will do a video to show you guys how I do that. Okay, so simple. And this is what's really great about doing that. Some of my towels take about a whole hour to embroider. I'm talking about the design and putting in the personalized name. Because I have already did most of the work up front, I have already embroidered the complete towel. The only thing that's missing is the name. All I have to do is rehoop the towel and add the name. The name is only going to take about 3 to 4 minutes to embroider. So usually what I started doing this time is I looked at last year's sales and I looked to see what was the most that people bought from me. What were the popular items? I just went, and if I saw that some were really popular, I went and I embroidered about 5 of them. And I did the same thing with the personalized one. I did like 5 without the name, 5 of the standard. What made it so simple for me this year is because I've had a lot of things that were already embroidered, and some of them all I had to do was add the name. I was able to package those orders and fill them so quick. The only time that I had towels under the machine were towels that I really didn't sell a lot in the past, but for some reason, people wanted to buy them this year. So I was like, okay. Now, some people may come out and say, well, Jeanette, what happens if they don't sell? It's not a big deal, okay? Because I sell these things all year round. Remember, these are towels that I know sell very well for me. So I know that if I don't sell them this holiday season, the most likely I'm going to sell them throughout the year. Mother's Day is right around the corner, okay? So that has really, really helped me with processing my orders. I will tell you, it has really been a lifesaver. So how I've been taking my local orders, making sure that I have the appointments and everything like that, so stress-free, knowing that I have already pre-embroidered some of my bestsellers, stress-free as well, I'm like, oh my God. Now, is this going to work for everybody? It may not, because it depends on what it is, right? Like, let's say you're selling bags, and the bags, you sell them personalized. Well, there's no way you're going to be able to guess the person's name, right? And all you're doing is putting a name on a bag. But in those situations, though, honestly, you're fine, because it doesn't take long to embroider a person's name. It really doesn't. The thing is that my items sometimes do take a long time, because I'm not just embroidering the person's name. I'm actually embroidering a big design on the towel. And a lot of my towels have multicolors. Some of them are designs that I have purchased and I've merged together and stuff like that. Some of them I've created on my own and had them digitized. And sometimes they require a lot of thread. So because of that, and those towels are usually under my needle for a whole hour, what I did was I said, all right, before the Christmas season hits, and I did this around October, November, I pre-made some of them. And because I figured that's the best time to do it, when you have your downtime and you're trying to prepare for the season. So I just stocked up on, on my standard bestsellers. I stocked up on the personalized ones, and oh my God, perfect. I love it. I mean, it got to the point where when I got sick this week, because I had a really bad cold, and I was like, shoot, even though I was slowed down, it did not hamper me at all, because I had all these items already kind of pre-made. So it was very simple for me just to add the name, package it up, ship it out. I mean, it was really, really simple. Okay. So I'm all caught up. Okay. Even before I came on the live with you guys, I got one order, personalized name. I already had it pre-made. I was able to do it like 10 minutes. Heat press it, package it up, gone. I mean, it's already in the bin, ready for the mailman to pick it up. And if I get any more when I get off, those are very simple for me to do. Probably have them done in about a half hour. I mean, it's just so great. All right, so let's talk a little bit about my inventory also. One of the things that I really liked is my inventory is doing very, very well. Okay. I made sure I stocked up, and now it's like, not that I'm sold out, but I do have a couple left, but not much. So I'm very happy with that. I'm very happy that I went and I bought everything in advance, and I have enough for me to meet all the required sales that I get to the end of the season. I mean, we're already on what? We're on the 13th. Okay. So, pretty close. Okay. I think we got what? 10, 11, 12 days. 12 days left. Okay. So, I mean, I think I got enough for those sales. Okay. And if I sell out, I sold out. I mean, I think that's great, so, and I'm fine with that, more time for me to go ahead and start sewing for the presents. So, so I'm pretty content. Bobbin, got plenty of it. Thread, I'm good. Stabilizer, I was a little short on the water soluble stabilizer, but I was able to order that on Amazon, and I bought 2, and they came in. And I got them during the Black Friday too. So, because I was debating, should I get them or should I not? Because usually, you look at a roll, when you look at the roll, you're like, oh, I think I have enough. But I did run out. So I had to actually go to one of the new ones that I bought and open it up so I could finish orders up. So I was kind of like, okay, so I'm glad I did that. So, that has been going really well. My sales, how are my sales going compared to previous years? I am running about the same, okay, online. Because one of the things that I like to do is I always analyze my data from when I open shop. And every year I write down, and I do it by month. Every year I like to see if my sales during that month has gone up or down compared to previous years. And then I also like to look at it to see, well, if they've gone up, has it gone up because of a new product that I had put on there, a new design or something like that? Have they, and all that stuff. So you really have to look at what you got and how things are going. A lot of times people think, oh, you have a business and all you have to do is just open shop and sell. There's a lot more than that. Okay. You really got to look at what you have in your shop. You got to start to analyze the data that your stats. You really have to look at your products. I do it all the time. In Etsy, there is a function where you can look at the stats per your items, and it tells you how much revenue a particular listing has gotten you. Okay. If I see that I've gotten a listing out there and there's zero revenue and I've had it there for quite some time, one of the things that I'll try to do is I first you got to look at the listing itself. Maybe I'm not using the right keywords. Maybe I need a better description. Maybe I need to put more pictures out there. Maybe I'm not tagging the stuff correctly. Okay. Try to play with that listing a little bit and see if it improves. Maybe you'll get a hit or something. If you see that nothing's there, it could be that maybe nobody wants it. Sometimes you just got to say, okay, I thought it was cute. Nobody else thinks it's cute. It is what it is. And you got to take it down. And what I usually tell people is when, don't just go creating new listings, right? If you have a listing out there with a product that's not selling, take that listing, remove the pictures, okay? Put pictures of the new stuff you want to sell, upload it on that listing. Just change the title, the description, and everything, resave. Because remember, you already paid 20 cents for that listing, right? And if you deactivate, you're just throwing your 20 cents away. So why create a brand new listing for a product if you already have a listing in your shop that's not producing anything for you? So all you got to do is just change the information on that listing, save it, and then keep going, right? So I usually do that. At the end of this year, that is what I plan on doing. I'm going to reevaluate all my listings again and see what sold, what didn't sell, compare it in previous years. Because sometimes you go through phases, right? It could be that, maybe you have a particular item that's pretty hot during Mother's Day and not so great during Christmas. Because sometimes certain things have seasons, right? So that's why you have people like they do the back to school, they do the Valentine's Day, because it's really, those are products that are just aimed for those particular holidays, right? So if you have like a Valentine's Day design or whatever, chances are they're probably not going to sell during the holidays. They're really going to be selling during that time period. So look at your listings and all that kind of stuff. So that way you can really kind of know, what's selling for you and what's not. Okay. Let me see. So I just really had those 4 for you guys. I will tell you, this year has been a lot less stressful for me than it had in the past. And I really think that the biggest change that I have made in my processes, and the reason why it has gotten so much better for me this year, is because of the pre-made orders. Just having that pre-made meant the world. I mean, it really is sped up everything so quickly. I'm really like, I could kind of kick myself because I'm like, why didn't I think about this before? Why didn't I do this before? Because the last couple of years, what I was doing was I would pre-make the ones that were just standard, right? And then anything that was personalized, I will make the whole towel when the order actually came in. And usually the personalized towels are the ones that sell the most, because everybody loves it when they get a kitchen towel or an item with their actual name on it, right? It's so unique and so it's so personal, right? So those are usually like the best gifts. So when I would get like 10, 15 orders, all personalized, what I was doing was I was taking a brand new towel, putting it on the machine, and then it would embroider for a whole hour just to get it personalized. And I only had 3 machines, so I could only do 3 towels at a time every hour. So that kind of like really sucked. But because I was able to pre-make these and just not put the person's name on it until, when the order came in and it had the person, oh, it's personalized. Not a problem. Rehoop it, stick it back in the machine, and embroider the name. Out, done. In like 5 minutes, finished. So it's like it really helped my process, and I wasn't even stressed. Okay. And then because I got the orders done so quickly, right? I was able to, like, the machines were like, okay, fine. So I would be like, okay, so I'm running low on the towels that, don't have the name on it, right? So when after I finished all my towels and stuff, and I put them in the post office, I would turn on all 3 machines, and I would have the machines running for 1 hour, doing the ones without the name. And I would always have them well in stock, and I would just keep them in the drawer. So I would always have like 5. So it really, guys, it made a difference. I'm telling you, it really truly did. So if like you have products in your site, and that's the way to do it. Okay. Now, the thing is, for me, this is easy because I'm selling kitchen towels and dinner napkins. You could kind of do the same thing with dinner napkins, but the thing is, dinner napkins, they really don't take that long to embroider. So I wouldn't bother with the pre-making of the dinner napkins. But I will tell you this though, if you have items like I say, a pillow and stuff like that, or I don't think this would work for clothes. I will tell you that. I don't think it would work for clothes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because with clothes, depending on what you're selling, right? It depends on size and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes what happens is you don't know if the order that's going to come in is going to come in for a small, medium, large, or extra large, or 2X, or whatever, right? So for some items, this may not work, but for others, it might. So, it's just something that, you just got to, think about. So for me, it works though. But the thing is, I just sell kitchen towels, right? And, I was talking to, I think it was Jeanette, another Jeanette and stuff like that, where she was trying to embroider clothing. And she was asking me also about inventory of clothing and stuff. One of the things you got to be careful about, and it's not just with clothing, and I'm talking about with anything, okay? When you are offering certain products and stuff, be very conscientious of your inventory. There's, like I know I had somebody come to me once, and they were like, oh, do you have the kitchen towel in blue? No, I only offer 2 colors, ivory, white. That's it. I'm not going to offer gray. I'm not going to offer green, blue, whatever. I tell them, if you want, you can change the color of the font to be blue, which the customer was happy with that and said, oh, okay, I can do blue font. And I'm like, okay. But be careful with that, because what happens is then you're going to end up buying stuff in all these different colors, in all these different sizes. And then, sometimes what happens is then you only have like 1 or 2 orders, and then you have all this stuff sitting there. And to me, that's wasted money. Okay. Things should not be sitting on your shelf. If it's sitting on your shelf, you're wasting your money. Okay. Your products have to be moving. That's why I like to limit my stuff. Okay. Kitchen towels, dinner napkins, my stuff moves. Okay. If I see that that is not moving, that is something I'm not going to be selling, because I'm not in the business to just buy stuff and look at it. I don't want to do that. Okay. My kitchen towels, love it. I mean, I order about 100 of them at a time, and then I restock when I see that my kitchen towels are down to like 12 in each color. Okay, if I only have 12 left in beige, then that means I got to go buy another 100. Okay, if I only have 12 left in white, I buy another 100. The same thing with my dinner napkins. I know what colors I'm going to offer. Okay, and I know where I can get them, and I only have a certain number in stock. Okay, that's it. And I don't reorder, because you got to be careful. You don't want next thing you know, you end up with all this stuff, and then you're like, what the heck? Kind of similar like with fabric, like you go to Joann's and stuff. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I have a lot of fabric right now, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, why did I buy that? So now what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to sew. I want to sew pouches. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to start using the fabrics that I have, and I'm going to do those boxy pouches. Okay. And I know I can't really sew that well. Okay. Because I don't really sew straight. So I know my first pouches may not come out looking so great. That's why they're going to go to family. Okay. Because I don't think Nancy's going to mind if the stitch ain't exactly straight. Okay. And she may point it out, but she kind of knows, well, Jeanette's practicing. So once I get really, really good at that, because that's the thing too. I want to grow the shop. I don't just want to do, what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing, but I want to offer more. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to do, pouches. And I figured if I'm sewing them, I'll just, make a pouch, sew it, have it already done, take several pictures of it, probably a video of me opening it up and stuff like that. And then I'll list it. If it sells, great. Then I'll make another pouch, put that one out there. Now, I'm not going to go on there and make 20 pouches of the same and then not sell not one. Even though, honestly, if that did happen, this is what I would do. If I have a bunch of pouches and I made them and I don't sell, and I notice a lot of people that do sewing as a hobby, they do this. They donate the items that they make. And I think that is a really great idea. One of the things that I was thinking of doing also was donating that as well, because I did that with some backpacks that I kind of screwed up from a customer, so I had to buy them from the customer. So what I did was, instead of removing the stitches that was on the backpack, what I did was I embroidered a patch with an inspirational saying on it, and what I did was I sewed the patch to the backpack, and then I put school supplies in there and stuff, and then I donated it to a school. So I thought that was pretty good, a good way to turn a negative into a positive, whatever. And at the same time, you kind of make, somebody's day. So, to me, I'm thinking I'm going to try to, create stuff, put it on Etsy. If it sells, awesome. If it doesn't, then and it's really nice, then I'll just donate it. I'll go to I don't want to say old folk home. What they call that now? I'll give it to someone that I know will appreciate it. you be you be surprised what a small gesture can do, right, Mello? Like getting a dog a bone. I know he is so happy because he's got his bone. And my sister's husband Harvey got him all into these big bones. So now it's like I have, when we go to PetSmart, he knows exactly where they have those big bones. Even though recently they moved it, and believe it or not, Mello was able to sniff it out. They were like, they're not right. You sniffed it out. You sure did. I know. I'm proud of you. You and that nose, I tell you. So anyway, okay, Mello. Okay, I know you said hi already. Okay, all right. Okay, so what is it? You're tired? Bone. Oh, wow. Okay, I guess he wants to sit with us here. All righty. Okay. All right. Okay, I'll sit with you. Okay. All right. So anyway, guys, I guess Mello wants to sit with us. All right. I will tell you this though. One good thing happened to me this week, right? I got sick, right? And because I got sick, when you're sick and everything, you don't want to eat or anything. You're like, because you feel like crap, right? Well, I wasn't eating that much. I was eating, but not that much or anything. Then when I went to the doctor and everything and I got on the scale, Mama lost 5 pounds. That's right. Woohoo. I was like, oh, well, that's good. That was good. Oh, God. Wow. He's in the mood to sit with me today. What is up with that? And stuff. And then today, when I went to PetSmart, I actually drove in my dad's car. And I put Mello with me in my dad's car. And it was funny because when I was driving, I was thinking, because my dad was very particular about his car, right? So I was like thinking to myself, oh, God, he's probably in heaven right now going, where'd you got that dog in my car? But he was so good and everything. He was really good. I was really shocked. I thought he was going to freak out because he was in a smaller car. But no, Mello did really good. Wow, he's so still. Wow. All right. Okay. Wow. That face. That face. Yeah, so guys, if you have any questions about this season and stuff, or something that you guys are going through and stuff, I'm going to go through the chat and let's see, we can talk to each other about it and stuff. Hey, Robin. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Nancy. How are you? Becky. Let's see. Hey, Eartha. How are you? Iris. How you doing? Emma. How are you? Hey, Kim Cass, how you doing? Hey, Angela and Stitches, how are you? Marlene, how you doing? Oh, he walked off now. Hold on. Gotta get thinking. It minimized the window on me. Let's see. Hey, Jenny, how you doing? Angela, how are you? Hey, Beth. Hey, Joyce, how you doing? Hey, Marsha, how you doing? That's a great idea. Making it in advance, adding a name later on the date is the best when the order comes in. It is. I am telling Marlene, it's highly recommend doing it. I'm telling you, made it so simple. So, and I'm going to tell you guys, when it, in the past, right? One of the things that I was doing was I would add a couple of extra dollars to the items that had to be personalized, right? And even though I knew that I was making more money with the personalized items, I ain't gonna lie. Every time, I heard cha-ching, I would look at the order, and when I saw it was personalized, I would make a face like oh boy. Because what went through my mind, right? I was like, gotta turn on the machine, and I got a whole hour to embroider that thing just because of a day, right? Now I get a personalized order, and I'm like, okay, which one do you want? Because all I have to do is go to Embrilliance, type out the name, save it, go to the multi-needle machine, because that's one of the things that I got to tell you that I love about my machine is that scanning capability. And I'm going to do one, and I'm going to show you guys how I do it. And you guys are going to be like, that's it? And be like, oh, I wish I knew how to do this long time. Now I'm like, oh, love it. I will, all my designs, I'm going to now provide a personalized option. Why not? Before, I would only do it for particular ones because I was like, okay, it's going to take me a whole hour to embroider those. Okay, so I was like not feeling that. All right. And then when you have the people locally coming to you because they want their stockings embroidered, they want their tree skirts embroidered, they got presents that they, want you to embroider for them, to personalize. So you're in the middle of doing the local orders and then that. And I will tell you, because I pre-made some of these items, okay, and it just very easy just to rehoop and put the name on it, I was even able to create more slots for local sales. Because when people were saying, because that's one of the things that I limited the local sales, because I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm not going to take too many local sales because when I have my personalized items, my machines are going to be all used up, right? No, now forget that. It's like, oh my God, my personalized items only take about the most 5 minutes. That's it. Like 5 minutes, because I already did all the sweating earlier. I already had the machines running the muck, creating the designs. Okay. So I am telling you, just do that. Take the ones that you have that are your best sellers, pre-make them. All you got to do is just don't embroider any name. That's it. Okay. So if you got something that says like Nancy's Kitchen, just embroider the design and kitchen. That's it. The design and kitchen. And then when somebody places the order and they wanted to say Linda's Kitchen, just rehoop it and embroider Linda. That's it. You already did all the hard work ahead of time. So it's no big deal. So all you got to do is just rehoop, put the name. I was like, oh my God, why did I not think about doing this earlier? You know how many sleepless nights? Well, if you guys have been watching me for a long time, you guys know that this is the time of the year where I'm usually like, I got no sleep. Now I'm like, oh, I'm so rested. I love it. I feel good. I'm like, oh, I have energy. I was like, oh, it's 8 o'clock. Because I'm going to be honest, last year, the years before, even though I stayed true, I'm like, 8 o'clock's my embroidery happy hour. But I ain't going to lie, I was exhausted when I was sometimes talking to you guys on Friday because I had those machines running. And sometimes way into the evenings. And you guys know I'm still working full time. So it's not like I can, Monday through Friday, I can't really embroider anything during the day, because I'm really busy. I'm committed to my job. So I have to do that job first. And then when I get off work, I go upstairs and then I got to put on all these machines and then do all the orders. So could you imagine if I have 10 personalized kitchen towels and I'm starting work at 3? Yeah, you're right. That means I have my machines running till like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. And then I have to get up early in the morning so that I can go to work. So that took a toll. Now it's like, it's not a problem. Give me all the personalized orders you want. I already have the pre-made, and then when I run low, then guess what I'm doing on the weekends? Pre-making them. That's it. It's like, oh, love it. And then because you make them so much faster, guess what you're doing? Next day shipping. Because before, I would say my processing time was about 2 to 3 days, right? Because it depends how many other orders I had. And if each towel took me an hour, right, you need that time. Now it's like I get an order in and it's out the door. Out the door. Very next day, postman comes, picks it up. And if the postman already came and picked up all my towels and stuff, and then I already have a bunch of orders already done, and it's not 5 o'clock yet, when Carlito's coming out the door, I'm like, hey, Carlito. I mean, he sees the box and he sees I have stuff in there. I mean, I don't even have to tell him. He just yells up, hey, Ma, you need a drop? I'm like, yep. And he just takes the box and goes over there, and he takes the stuff. Sometimes it's the same day shipping. So it's like, love it. And then all my reviews, awesome. They all say, oh, it came so quick, because in the customer's mind, they're thinking it takes about 2 to 3 days to process, right? But it really isn't. He's looking at me. How could you not love that face, right? I'm telling you, I love my dog. I do. I love my dog. It's stuff. So anyway, you're so cute. You're so cute. You're kitty cute. So anyway, yeah. So this year, I have to tell you, I feel so relaxed. And it's not that I'm not making the sales. The sales are coming in. It's just that the way that, I have improved how I process my orders and how I do things has really improved how I am handling the incoming sales. It has made it so much easier for me. And it's really funny because what goes through my mind is, if it has improved so much where I can do this and feel good, right? And not feel exhausted and overworked and stuff like that, then I can only imagine when I'm finally retired how much better I'm going to be able to run this business and really take it up a notch. I'm really excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I'm telling you. It's like, and what's so funny too is like, at my job, because you hear all this stuff now on the news and stuff. And now everybody's like, oh, we're going to lose our job, something like that. Man, shit, I couldn't wear. I'm like, are you all friggin' early out? Because outside, I'll be out the door in no time. But they're not. So I'm like, fine. I'll just have to work my year and 9 months then, I guess. That's what I have left. But that's okay. But yeah, so now I am like so super excited, because I'm like, this is like so freaking cool. I'm like, I love how things are really working out for me. It really paid for me. The problems that I've had in the past, totally resolved, no issues, and some of them have been, the time, right? That's solved, right? So now things are running a lot more smoothly, a lot more quicker. And this is the other thing too, that, people don't really think about. Because I was able to find a way for me to produce these products better, I can now make sure that I have no mistakes. Because when you are exhausted and you got the machines running full time, you're talking about a lot of noise, stuff like that. Even though, thank goodness for my Beats, because I be wearing these things, okay? But it's like you're not that pressed for the time. So the errors, you can take your time. You can really take your time and stuff like that. I mean, there have been times when I forgot to change the color of thread, or I changed the color thread, but I didn't run it all the way through. Okay. Put the wrong name on the wrong towel stuff. Now I don't have any of that. I mean, because I can take my time. I can actually look at the order. I can read it. I can, I'm not rushed. Just type in the name and I'm good. So I'm telling you, it has been a game changer for me. It really, 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 truly has. I'm telling you, it's the best thing. Now, you know what's funny is I think about other things that people do. Like I know sublimation. A lot of people are doing sublimation. I know some people they sell like mugs, tumblers, even kitchen towels too. I don't do the sublimation, even though I have a sublimation machine, but that's not my thing. I love embroidery. Embroidery is my thing. But I wonder if this process would work for sublimation. And what I mean is, let's say you sell mugs, right? But let's think about this. Sublimation is different. I mean, it's not when you're sublimating a mug, all you're doing is putting it through the heat press for a couple of seconds or a minute or two, right? Depending how long you gotta let it bake, right? So no, I don't. Yeah, so I think I'm talking off the track because they're really it's simple with sublimation, and stuff. But embroidery is just different because embroidery is like you got to stitch stuff out. It takes time. And which is why, I'm going to be honest, I tell people that's why embroidery is very expensive. Okay. A lot of people love it. But it should be expensive because of the time it takes to create, if you take a shirt and you're doing sublimation, people just have to print it out. Now, of course, it's not cheap either because the machine costs money. It's special ink that costs money. The transfer paper that costs money. The heat press that costs money. Okay. But embroidery machines are extremely expensive. Okay. You're talking about thread colors. Okay. So thread's expensive, different types of stabilizer. Actually putting the design together takes time. Okay. Even though I know it's sublimation, that takes time as well. But sometimes you have to do the test stitches. You have different stabilizers. There's a lot more in the process. And sometimes, depending on the design, it can sometimes take a little longer to embroider because depending on what you are embroidering, sometimes you have different weight threads. Sometimes you have certain sections of a design that you have to slow the machine down. Okay. A lot of people don't like hearing that, but it's true because even people that embroider, okay, sometimes, they tell me, oh, I embroidered it. I embroidered a design and then they send me the picture and you could tell the details on the design, right? You could tell there were places where they should have slowed that machine down. And then I tell them redo it and slow down the machine at a certain speed. And then I ask them, what kind of weight thread did you use? And sometimes, I know they don't want to hear it. I know they don't want to do it, but I tell them, okay, well, if you're happy with that, but I tell them, if I were you, I'd give it a shot. And then some people who listen and then they go and they redo it and they do slow down the machine and they do switch from a 40 to a 60 weight, change the needle size, and then they do a comparison. And then they're like, oh, it looks nicer. I'm still a little sick, but I'm not that bad. Gotta remember to take my medicine tonight, but I'm a lot better. My voice was very, very hoarse, and my throat was hurting really, really bad. Sorry. Metal's asleep. But yeah, let me keep going down. Hey Rhonda, how you doing? Hey Miss Martin, hey Leslie, how are you? Hey Crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing? Hey, Miss Max, how are you? Hey, Crafting Boutique, how you doing? Oh, I keep hearing bad things about selling on Etsy. Well, you know, there's so many different platforms out there, Crafting Boutique. It depends. Let me give you my opinion on it, okay? And thanks for the question, Miley. Let me give you my opinion. There's a lot of different platforms out there, right? You got Etsy, you got eBay. Some people use Shopify. Now you got Michael's Marketplace. There's Amazon Handmade. Every platform, they got TikTok shops, every platform is different and unique in its own way, right? There are different fees, different ways to list things. It depends on what it is that you want and what works for you. Now, I do notice that sometimes when people complain, and this is the other thing too that I tell people, be kind of worry when you hear people complain about certain things, because you got to ask yourself, because this is how I usually do. I'm not saying don't listen, but what I'm saying is, ask yourself why. Why is this person feeling that way, right? Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I remember once, I was talking to somebody, and they said, I didn't like Etsy. They shut my store down, and I was like, oh, why'd they do that? Well, I guess I was making too much money. And I'm thinking to myself, why would they shut that down? I mean, if you were making a lot of money, because think about it, this is what I was thinking. If you're making a lot of money, Etsy takes a certain percentage of what you sell, right? I think it's 6%, something like that. So they're making money. It wouldn't make sense for them to shut you down if you're making money, because they're making money. I mean, they're in business to make money, right? This is all about. Then I start talking to her a little more, and then I find out, yeah, she got shut down for copyright. It's like, hello, okay, what are you doing? And then she mentioned that she got sent messages about taking down listings for copyright issues, and she said she just kept. She would relist it, just change wording, stuff like that. But I'm like, you've been flagged. And then I said, but why would you do copyright? Why don't you just do something that unique, Because this is just me. When I sell something that I know I made, it's a good feeling, because it's like, oh, somebody wants something that I made, If you're writing off and you're selling off of copyright, stuff like that, it to me, I just look at it like, well, all right, you're making a quick buck, but you're really not making that money over anything unique, right? You're and at the same time, I'm like, it's just not right. I don't see it as right, because somebody created that and took the time to copyright to protect themselves. And if you want to use it, you should have reached out and paid a license or something. I don't know. That's just how I feel. But and sometimes I find that people that complain about certain things, it's usually because they themselves messed up, or they just didn't understand the platform, or it just didn't work for them, So to me, this is how I say it's not a good or bad. And I feel the same way, like when people talk to me about embroidery machines, right? Sometimes people come to me and say, oh, I want to buy an embroidery machine. Should I get this? Should I get that? I know I piss off a lot of people because I always give the same answer. You gotta buy what's right for you. Okay. I have a lot of friends that embroider just like I do. And they have different machines. They don't use the same machines that I use. I mean, they bought the machine that fit, that was for them. Okay. Everyone's learning curve is different. Everyone's requirements are different. Everyone's budget is different. You have to buy what is right for you. And it's the same thing when it comes to finding the platform that you want to sell. Some people like to do the Shopify and it works for them. Some people don't like it, because some people say, oh, you got to market yourself and stuff like that. Everything has its good or bad. Some people don't like certain sites because they find the fees are a little high, right? So the way I look at it is you got to do the math. Okay, do the math. Don't just go by what people tell you. Do the math. It's just like I don't know, like when I do my retirement seminars, I mean, not seminar, but when I take the classes and stuff like that, I don't take what those people tell me for granted. I'm going to take my own calculator and pencil. I'm doing my own math. I know what I need that check to look like. So it's the same thing with the platform. So, Crafty Boutique, it depends, I know for me, it works well. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with the shop. I get my orders in, I get my money. I'm okay. There have been a couple of times when I wanted to put some listings up, and because I use certain words, right? Like I have some kitchen towels with a Cuban flag on it. So on the title, I would put embroidered Cuban flag. So what they would do is they would deactivate it. And then when they deactivated it, I reached out to support and I said, hey, can you have your legal team look at my listing and let me know what I need to modify for me to, to be able to list that. So all it is they just want to look at my listing to make sure that, that I'm wording it correctly. And they were very helpful, because what they one of the listings, it was like they wanted to make sure that I put made in America. I guess they don't want someone to mistaken that is coming from Cuba or something like that. I don't know. So I was like, I'm fine. If that's you just want me to put that one statement in there, I'll put the statement in there. It's fine. And, a couple of times that happened, so sometimes when I have a new listing, depending on the wording and all that kind of stuff, but to me, they always work with me. And if it was something that they didn't allow, they gave me alternatives. And I was like, okay, I can work with that, So, everything's going to have its good and bad. That's just how I see it. I know I definitely do want to, I'm going to continue with the Etsy, but I do want to try other platforms as well. But the thing is, like right now, like I said, I feel really good that I'm at a good sounding board right now, I'm not like, I don't, like walking around with no sleep, like before it was bad. Now it feels so good. It really freaking does. I love it. I just love it. Okay. But now it's like, I want to stay like this. Cause it's healthy, right? I love it. And so what I plan on doing is, when I do retire, I will tell you, you guys are going to see, you're going to see a brand new Jeanette, because, I've got so many, I've been working on my business plan, and there are so many things that I plan on achieving. The thing is, I have not, I'm still in the planning. I like to analyze. Those that know me very well, my sister could tell you, I will analyze things in every single angle, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure I make the best decision. So I already have like a business plan laid out. And I do know that Etsy is not going to be the only platform that I'm going to be utilizing after I retire. I am looking at other platforms as well, because I want to expand. Um, but the thing is, I can't do that now because I am limited right now, not retired yet. So I am not going to take on more than I can handle. So I want to make sure that when the time comes, I'm even planning how I'm going to develop. Okay. I'm not going to take the whole ocean at once. I'm going to be taking my little steps. But I do want to use another platform. Not that I'm going to abandon, it's just I want adding. So I want to add more platforms to it, and I want to expand. And I even have plans for the channel as well because, I know I do my embroidery happy hour. I plan on continuing that because I really love our Friday nights. So this is definitely not going to go anywhere because I always like to keep you guys informed on how I'm doing and sharing with you guys any new stuff that I'm learning about running an embroidery business and all that kind of stuff. I love sharing that because when I learn something and I share it with you guys, it's to help you guys too. So, and I like to share information. I have always been an information sharer. So, but I do plan on expanding things that I offer. Going into the blank business, that is not for me. I'm not about the inventory stuff. You guys know that. I plan on offering different types of embroidery designs and different stuff that I want to embroider. But I am looking at different things. Like I said, I'm really not big on the clothes. So clothing is not going to be something that I think I'm going to be doing. I do love home decor. That is for sure. I love that. So I think I'm going to be aiming more towards that aspect. The thing that I love about it is because I love decorating houses. And I really want to create items that are really unique, for a person in their home, so the different things that I'm planning on doing. I do want to expand on my dinner napkins, different designs. I'm looking at different types of dinner napkins to embroider. Right now, I only have like 2 different styles, but I have been looking at other styles of dinner napkins that people are using. Um, so there's just so many things that I want to expand. The kitchen towels, love doing those. I'll continue to do those. I am thinking about pillows. I had mentioned to you guys about curtains in the past. I plan on doing something regarding windows, coverings. Um, I have ideas. So I've been writing them all down in a book and all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that, when I retire, I'm going to be pretty busy. I'm going to be pretty busy. I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. He's out. Look at that. He is totally out. He is just not. And look at his bone. Oh, wow. Dog's tired. He was at that bone all day. So, yeah. But, yeah. So, Crafty Boutique, I think I gave you a mouthful on that today. Hey, Ronnie. Oh, do you use the heat plastic stabilizer? And if so, where did you get it? I got mine. I do. I've used it, Rona, but I don't use it too often. The one that I actually got from allstitch.com. That's where I got mine from. Okay. And I kind of liked it. I am going to tell you, I was a little scared at first when I used it because you're going to put your iron on it, right? You're putting your iron on it. And what went through my mind was, oh, I'm going to get all that stuff stuck on the bottom of my iron, right? But I just said, the heck with it. Let me just try it. And then I tried it, and I don't know where the heck that thing went. It just disappeared. and it didn't mess up the bottom of my iron or anything. So, but I got mine from allstitch.com. That's where I got it. Hey Debbie, how you doing? Oh, I may not have time available, so I'm gonna take photos of my gift. Oh my God, I'm a happy camper. Yes. Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, take photos of it. And one thing is after we do the embroidery happy hour next Friday, I was going to ask people if they could go on the Facebook page and post photos of what they got, because the thing is, I do know that sometimes some people are camera shy and they don't want to get on and and be on the video and stuff, and I got that, and that's okay. But it would be really cool if if you took a photo of it and put it on the Facebook page, and say thank you, and stuff, because I know everybody gets all excited about it and stuff. I know me personally, I love it. I just love seeing the creativity. This year I have sewn a couple of products. My husband's laughing at the dog. I have sewn my gifts, so I hope that the person that gets them likes it, because you guys know I am not much of a sewer. So and what's so funny is I was like thinking to myself, oh my God, I don't know how I'm gonna do this, because I'm gonna be so swamped with all these orders. But because it was so much easier this year, I was able to find time to sew. So I was just like, this is so freaking cool. So I actually sewed, and so I'm pretty proud of the stuff that I made. So I'm excited. I hope the person that I sent my gift to likes it and stuff, because I had time to do it. So it was pretty cool. Hey Peggy, how are you? How you doing? Hey Elvita, how are you? What if you do sweatshirts and t-shirts? I do embroider them, but the thing is, that's not something that I sell. The reason why I don't sell those items is because you get into inventories, and I'm not big on that. I don't want to have my house turn into a warehouse, and the thing is, clothing is different. It can be tricky, right? When I embroider clothing, a lot of times it's for other small business owners or local businesses around me. Okay. And usually what I'll do is I will tell them to bring the blanks to me, and they can tell me where they ordered the blanks in case I have to replace it. I don't like the clothing for the simple fact that it's not that I don't like embroidering them. I'll embroider on them, but I just don't want to be in the business of buying clothing for folks. A lot of times people are very particular about their clothing, right? And I'll give you an example of that. Like my husband, right? He wanted some sweatshirts. Some people, like their sweatshirts heavy. Some people like them light. Some people don't like a certain type of material. There's different colors. There's different ways that shirts are sewn together and they fit on people. There's just so many different options, right? And the thing is, sometimes everybody likes certain things in a certain way. And you may end up like, let's say, all right, I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm going to sell sweatshirts, right? And I'm going to buy them wholesale. So I'm going to go ahead and I said, I'm going to buy Gildan. I'm going to buy Gildan shirts. And I want it to be 100% cotton. And of course, if you're in business, you're not going to go and buy the most expensive Gildan shirts, right? And then you have to figure out how, all right, I need certain smalls, mediums, large, extra large, 2X, 3X. Then you have men's, then you have women, and then you go to sell it. I may not, chances are I'm not going to sell all of them because it depends on what the customers want. And then sometimes you can get into the problem of getting bad reviews also, because what happens is people see the picture of a sweatshirt, but they didn't touch it. They didn't feel it, right? So they don't know if they like the material, even though you describe it and stuff like that. Then what happens is people come, they, you embroider it, you package it up, you ship it out, and then people get it. Not all smalls are the same, right? Because depending on the company that you use, sometimes some smalls run small and smaller, and some smalls run a little bigger, right? And then the customer gets it, receives it, likes the embroidery, puts it on, doesn't like the way it fits, doesn't like the way it feels, doesn't like the way it hangs, or it was too, the small's too small, or the small's too big, or it doesn't flare enough, or whatever, right? And the next thing you know, you end up with a bad review. Okay, so it's like, I don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to deal with it. And then when I do the embroidery for local businesses, what I usually do is I tell them, you bring me the items, okay, because they picked it. Okay, it's their shirt, they liked it, they picked it. You pick the item, you bring me the shirt, and all I'm doing is I am providing you the service to embroider the item. That's how I do it. That's just how I do it. So yeah, because less of a hassle. I like to keep things simple. I really do. I like to keep things simple. It's worth it, less of a headache. And that's what I like to do. I like to embroider. I don't like to go shopping for other people. It's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? I just say it's just not my thing. Okay. I have no problem telling the customers, hey, these are some wholesale sites. Because if they're a small business owner like I am, chances are they got their LLC, they got their license and all that stuff, right? They can set up an account and get the wholesale prices. I'm not interested in making money on the actual shirt. I just want to sell my service to embroidery. So I just focus on that. Okay, so let's see what else we got. Hey Bernino, how are you? Let's see. John Deere Legacy talks about it a lot. Oh, okay. I guess you guys talking about something else. Hey Margie, how you doing? Ooh, guys. Oh, I will have to post that for you guys. Crafty. I have so many towels that are sitting. I just need to start selling on Etsy and get rid of this stuff. Yeah, and and this is the thing. But you know what? Let me give you an idea, Crafty Boutique. Because this is something that I do. Okay. There have been times, all right, because you know how you learn from your mistakes. I'm telling you, I've learned so much. I really have. There are sometimes times when you can see things and you think, oh, that's a hot seller. Let me jump on that bandwagon. I want to make money too, right? Sometimes you'll go on Etsy and you see big seller. You see people selling all this stuff. Well, at one time, I thought, you know what? I'm going to buy duffel bags. I'm going to buy duffel bags and I'm going to personalize them. They're going to sell. Well, I went and I bought 5 duffel bags. Okay. Listed it. Sold not one. Nothing. None. And the one that I listed, thankfully, I took the duffel bag and I embroidered it with my name on it. Okay, so I figured, okay, I'll take a duffel bag. I'm going to put my initials on it. I'm going to use that as my sports bag when I go work out, right? Okay, so that's the one that I use. The other ones just sat there. So you know what I did with the blanks? Gifts. Okay, when the holidays showed up, like Christmas now, you know, I mean, I don't have them anymore, but that's what I did. I took them and I put my girlfriend's initials on them and bordered it and gifted to them. And to be honest, it was a great idea because those duffel bags cost me like $5. Because it's not like, they were a lot of money. They were only $5. But the thing is, just because I took that duffel bag and put my girlfriend's initials on it, it was like getting them a $30, $40 gift. So I know you say you have like what did you say? You had like a bunch of towels, shirts, sweatshirts that are just sitting and stuff. If you put them on Etsy and you see that they're not selling or whatever, gifts. When you have a friend that bought a house or whatever, take one of those towels and border it, and gift it to them. Like, I don't know what towels you have. You have a kitchen towel, or if you have a bath towels, big hit. If they're bath towels and stuff, take the bath towel, put their initials on it and stuff like that. They will proudly hang that in their bathroom, or kitchen towels and stuff like that. And if you got sweatshirts and your friends' sizes or family members and stuff like that, take the sweatshirt, put their little initials right on this on the a logo, little initial and stuff. You'd be surprised. Or put the initial on the sleeve. They'll love it. They will love it. I'm telling you, it'll be a big hit. It really would. Angela and Stitches. I got the stuff today to try sublimation. I'm excited, but I gotta get my orders first. Somebody's playing with sublimation. Oh my goodness. Hey Marge, how are you? People are getting stuff. Alpha tricks and the Christmas editions. Oh my goodness. All I need is a person who knows how to set up Etsy to sell my items. I'm not a fan of answering all those questions on the site. It's complicated for my brain. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. When I first started, I felt the exact same way because I was like, what the heck is all this? But once you get over that hump, and you're done with your first listing, okay, it's always the first listing because it's new, it's brand new. But once you're done with that, it's easy. So don't I know sometimes people don't, because they're kind of like, oh, I don't want to deal with this crap, and they just go away. Nope, just get over the hump and get it done, and you'll be okay. Speaking of fabric, kicked myself today. I totally forgot all the Christmas fabric I brought last year. Now I don't have time. And you know what, Miss Max? You mentioned the Christmas fabric. I got Christmas fabric over there. I didn't do nothing with it. Nothing. And this is Christmas fabric that I've had now for over 2 years. And think about it. Well, this is what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to try to make my little pouches. And once I have that down, I'm going to take those Christmas fabric. I'll create 1 or 2 with the Christmas, and then I'll see if I can sell them next year, and stuff. So I'll see what happens, and I think so. Oh, yes. Thank you, Marnie. If you guys, please give me a thumbs up if you really, really like our Friday nights together, please, because that does help the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel, please, please, please consider subscribing and stuff. I was hoping to get to 20,000 by the end of this year. I don't think I'm going to make it. I think I'm at 19,107, but that's okay. That's all right. I mean, it's no big deal. And I do have another video that I'm planning on posting tomorrow. I found this cute font, really cute font. And I embroidered a stocking for my cousin, and I videotape the whole process to show you guys the font and everything. So I will be posting that tomorrow for sure for you guys. There are people out there who help with setting up Pepsi. Yeah, they are. Yeah, and there's a lot of videos too, Marnie. She's right. I mean, even if what I would do is I would just go on YouTube, because there are people out there that say this is how you set up the listing and stuff. So they might be able to help. There you go. That's what I meant. Nursing home or assisted living. Yes, thank you. That is a great place to go and donate stuff, and I hear people do that all the time, especially a lot of people that love to sew, because sometimes they just sew just to sew, and then they end up with a whole bunch of stuff, and they're like, okay, what do I do with it? So just take it to them, and you'd be surprised they appreciate it a lot. Like, I have a girlfriend of mine that she likes to sew. She loves sewing. So what she did was she bought the pattern for walkers. There's like a pattern where you can create like it's like a bag or something, or organizer that you put Velcro on it and you can snap it. Well, not snap it, but it wraps around the walker, so that way when someone's using their walker, if they have a wallet or something that they want to carry with them, their phone, they have a little pouch on their walker, and they could just put their stuff there, like their books and all that kind of stuff. So she loves making those, and and she doesn't have a walker, but she likes to make them. So one of the things that she does is she makes them. And then she does a really cute job. And then, she tries to sell them. And sometimes, if they don't sell because maybe a person didn't like the pattern or whatever, she'll just take whatever doesn't sell, and she goes to the assisted living and she just donates them. And you'd be surprised how many people really love them. And then sometimes what she'll do is she'll leave her card when she donates the stuff, and she tells people, hey, I can personalize it for you if you want. And she doesn't even charge them for it. If they say, yeah, can you put my name on it, she's like, not a problem. She goes, I'll be, let me take it, I'll bring it back next week. And she just does that, because she just does it because she likes to sew. It's something to pass the time. And sometimes, she sells one or two, and if she doesn't, she just donates it, And I'm gonna be honest, I could see myself doing that when I retire, because I like doing stuff like that. Because I feel like when you do stuff like that, it's like you're giving back to the world. And I don't know. I just feel like I've been very, very fortunate in my life. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not like my stuff fell out of the sky. Okay, I didn't win the lotto or anything. I busted my ass. I didn't, I work hard. Okay. So, but the thing is that, I did really good. I did really, really well. I mean, right after high school, I worked really hard in college, got all my degrees and stuff like that. I worked really hard in my career, to move up the ladder and do what I had to do. I made sure I made good financial decisions and stuff. I was a single mom. That wasn't in the plan for me. Nobody wants to be a single mom, but I was, but it was okay, and I made sure that me and Carlito were fine, and that, Carlito had any opportunity that he wanted to, what I'm saying? So, but I do feel very, very fortunate. I'm very grateful for everything that I have. I don't take any of it for granted. So to me, and I think that's one of the reasons why I also wanted to start this channel, is because I feel like this is my way of giving back to the world, because I kind of look at it like, even though I do very, very well with the embroidery, there's enough for everybody. There really is. There's enough work for everybody. Okay. There's not, not one person can embroider for everybody in the world. Okay. So, and at the same time, you never know who you're helping, right? You could be, like, I know let's say there's somebody out there that is probably, struggling for money or whatever, right? Okay, so they can't afford maybe a multi-unit machine, but if they have a small machine, right? Like I have a girlfriend who she just literally upgraded to a 5x7 machine. Okay, she was using the SE 600 machine, would not upgrade, and her all she sells is baby onesies. That's it. Can she do other stuff? Yeah, she's very good at what she does, but she loves doing applique. She loves embroidering the baby bodysuits and stuff, and that's all she does. And she'll personalize them and everything. And she always works with a 4x4 hoop, and she makes money doing that. And sometimes I ask her, why don't you get a bigger machine? She's like, I'm fine. Now she got a new machine with a 5x7 hoop. But you know what? Which cracks me up, because I'm like, why did you even buy the machine? She still uses the 4x4 hoop. Even though the machine came with a 5x7, she still uses her 4x4. And the reason is because I asked her, I said, why are you not using the 5x7? And she's like, because the 4x4 hoop fits better with the baby bodysuits. Okay, it's true. I mean, they're small sizes, and she always likes to do the preemies and the small. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of like, okay, so that's her thing. So you never know who you help and stuff like that. So anyway, but yeah. Can't afford a high. I just want to import. But you know what though, Marlene, go on YouTube. I'm telling you, if you go on YouTube and you just type setting up a listing in Etsy, I bet you there is a video out there on someone that'll teach you how to do it. I am telling you. That's another thing too. I know a lot of people out there, they sell all these classes, right? You have people that say, oh, take my course on how to sell on Etsy. Take my course on how to do this, how to do that. A lot of this information you can get for free on YouTube. Okay, all you got to do is just search. That's all you got to do. Just search, and there is someone out there that probably did a video on it. I'm telling you, and you don't have to pay. Let's see. Mello the supervisor. Yeah. And look at, oh my God, guys. He is. Oh, he heard me talking about him. Okay, sorry, Mello. I didn't mean to disturb you. Oh, back a bit. Oh my goodness. He's funny. Applicant. Great way to use fabric. Pouches can be done. I know. Yeah, but Debbie, I want to sew. I know you could do the in the hoop, and they do have them, the in the hoop pouches and stuff like that. But I just want to do raw sewing. That's what I want to do. I want to do that. I mean, I want to put away the embroidery machine for a little bit and just really sew. That's thing. Once I get that sewing itch out of the way, okay, then I'll do in the hoop. Everybody talks to me about those in the hoops. Hey Judy, finally got this laptop going. How you doing? Let's see. The beauty of having an advanced maze, all you have to do is advanced maze is what you sell, pin down on those items. How do you get local orders? I usually get the local orders. I usually get because people in the neighborhood, people around me, they know that I do embroidery. There are lots of ways that you can get sales locally, crafty boutique. If you live in a community, right, and your community has like a Facebook page and stuff like that, one of the things I recommend that you do is advertise your services there. Okay. Now you don't have to like come out and say, hey, anybody need embroidery, right? And then that's not going to work. What you can do is create something, right? Like I'll give you an example. Let's say the holiday season right now, right? Let's say you go ahead and you're embroidering stockings. Take a picture of the stockings that you embroidered, post it on the Facebook page and say, hey, I'm embroidering holiday stockings. If anyone is interested in getting their holiday stockings embroidered, let me know. Just send me a message. And before you know it, people in your community are going to say, wait a minute, I want that. So next thing you know, they're going to PM you or they'll send you a message. They'll say, hey, how much do you charge to embroider? I would like to get that. And before you know it, what happens is after you get the first person that you embroider, the neighbors are going to be talking to each other. And then they're going to be like, oh, do you know that person's embroidering? Da-da-da-da. Next thing you know, you do it. Because I get neighbors, they come all year round. They have blankets that they want me to embroider. They have their kids' book bags, their kids' lunch bags. When summer comes, their beach towels, gifts. Some of them are small business owners, and when they found out that I do embroider, they actually come to me and say, hey, can you embroider my logo? And I'm like, sure, not a problem. I mean, before you know it, that's how you start growing. You just have to get your stuff out there, okay? If there's a school by you, you know what I'm saying? You can do embroidering for the school. You can do embroidering for a church. You just got to get your name out there, okay? But once you're out there, trust me. The only thing too that I will tell you about this, make sure you're good at what you do. Seriously. And you guys that have watched me for quite some time, you guys know that I've always said that. If you are going to be embroidering, but not even local, even online, and I say this all the time to a lot of people, okay? Make sure that you know what you're doing. Because when you are embroidering for a business, all right, people want good quality work. If your stuff is shady, don't do it. That means you need to practice, okay? If you are not really good at identifying what stabilizers should go with what fabric, what needle needs to be used with particular designs, the weight of the thread and stuff like that, practice. When you are really good, okay, and I'm not talking about you gotta be perfect, but you gotta make sure you know what you're doing, because when you start embroidering for people, okay, they have an expectation. They're paying money, and if you don't meet that expectation, okay, the worst thing that can happen is you get a customer and you screw up that order, or the embroidery doesn't look good or clean or whatever. You will never see that customer again, and you probably won't see other customers either, because it's going to be problematic. Your reputation, okay? Reputation is very, very, very important. Okay, so make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, that's the only thing I tell people. I see it all the time when people just bought a machine, okay, embroidered one or two design, and they're like, I'm ready for business. I'm ready for business. And I'm gonna tell you something. Local orders is usually custom embroidery. Okay, there's a big difference between custom embroidery and just embroidering designs and putting names on stuff, okay, and selling what you want to sell. Well, custom embroidery is that custom embroidery in details. Customers are coming with their designs. We're talking about, then you have to get them digitized. Once you get them digitized, you got to test stitch. You also got to know about different fabrics that they're going to be putting that design on, stabilizer, and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot more There's a reason why embroidery is expensive. Okay. All right. You got to know also about how you're going to charge. So there's a lot of things that you have to think about before you start opening your doors and say, I'm ready for business. Okay. I'm not trying to scare you, because it's not that I want anybody to think, oh my God, it's too complicated. No, it's not. It's not complicated, but I'm just letting you know that these are things that you need to think about if this is what you want to do. Okay. And the reason why I'm telling you this is so that you can be successful. All right. I don't want people to go out there and mess up. Okay. I want you guys to succeed. All right. But the thing is, sometimes success takes time. All right. I mean, you hear all the time with people that, that have ran businesses and all that kind of stuff. You hear it from very successful people, things where they faltered, and then all of a sudden they had to re-engineer and find out ways to keep their business on the mark and keep going. So I just, just think about it. Okay. I mean, if you're going to do embroidery as a business, you got to remember, it's not just turning on a machine and threading a needle. You gotta think like a business. So you have to, think about that. If this is something that you want to do, you got to make sure that the first thing is your skill set. It's got to be up to par. If it's not up to par, you're not ready. I have heard a lot from people where they did that, where they just went straight into the business realm, and then all of a sudden they write back and they go, this isn't for me, because they say that they had to replace a lot of blanks. They had to replace customer items. The embroidery didn't come out too great. And it's not that they're not capable of doing it. It's just that they weren't ready. They weren't ready. They needed to practice. It is, a lot of times people think it's just turning on the machine. It's not. It's not. You got to know what you're doing. You really, really do. And it takes time, so, yeah. So let me see. 80 people watching, only 27. Only 27 people gave me a thumbs up. What is up with y'all? Come on. Put those fingers up. Put those fingers up. You come on now. Hey, Lori, how are you? All right. Another question. When you do your bestsellers, do you make notes of the font, time, stitches, thread color, etc.? Okay, yes. Usually, when I have my designs, Marlene, the colors are already set. I don't deviate from them. The only times that I change a color is if a customer asks. All right. Now, do I make note of the font? Usually, I don't change the font, because it is what it is. This is the font that I use. However, though, I don't know if you guys remember, because I think it's over a year. I did a happy hour with you guys talking about fonts. And one of the things that I mentioned about the fonts is something that I found was, and I remember I told you guys were like, aha moment. Okay. I said, not every font. Okay. When you buy a font and it looks so cute, and then you say, I love that font, I'm going to buy it. Then you go to use that font and you type in a name and you're like, it looks a little funky. That N doesn't look that great. Or the letter M. I don't like the way the A looks, the capital A and stuff like that, right? So all of a sudden, that cute font doesn't look too cute. Well, in some of my designs, what I usually do is I kind of mix the fonts a little bit, depending on the name, right? So if I see that the name looks kind of funky, or I will modify the font a little bit, or what I will do is I will just change that letter to a font that has a nicer looking letter, and then the rest of the font is a different size. You can mix up your fonts and all that kind of stuff. making note of the time and the stitches, the thread colors, and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, I don't change my thread colors. So I always know exactly what the colors are. Do I make the notes? Yeah, I kind of have them memorized already, because it's like I the best sewers, I do them so many freaking times. The other thing that I do, Marlene, though, and this might help you, I think you have a brother PR 1055. What I do is I take my design for my bestsellers and I actually save it on the computer on the embroidery machine. That way, when I need to recreate it, all I have to do is bring up the design from the machine. When I bring up the design from the machine, it automatically has the colors that I need and all that kind of stuff. And all I have to do is just change my threads and stuff like that. So that saves a lot. I don't usually just, I don't have to go and resave it on a USB or anything like that. Most of my designs are already saved on the actual machine. So I hope that helps. Hey, Jenny, how are you? So Fanny is there. You have no idea, Jenny. It feels good. It really does. I was like, love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Let's see. Maybe I've been doing too many different things, but it seems overwhelming. Yeah, it does. You gotta, Marlene, you just sometimes gotta step back and just take it easy. And I know about feeling overwhelming, believe me, because the last couple of years of me doing this while working full time, it was like, and I don't know if you guys remember this time last year, I was back in the office full time. Because, this time last year, because I had took a new job and there was no teleworking. So every single day I had to get up 3:00 in the morning and be in that office at 6:00. And I didn't get out of work till like 3:30. And I wouldn't get home till 5. And then I would have to change and then start all my orders. And then sometimes I was here till like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. And I would get 1 hour sleep. And I would sleep on the bus, okay? 1 hour home. And then I would get on the bus and sleep another hour on the bus. And thankfully, people knew me on the bus. So whenever the bus stopped where I was supposed to get off, if I was like in a deep sleep, they would wake me up. And the bus driver would be like, Jeanette, this is your stop. And I would be like, oh, okay. So, thankfully. But yeah. Shoot, boy, that was not fun. But I made it. I did it, Let's see. Hey, Bubba, how you doing? Let's see. Beth. Oh, I did my first craft fair. Made pre-made kitchen towels with Santas. The ones that didn't sell were on a gold towel. The gold was my favorite, but nobody bought it. Just white ones. So 6 extra golds here. And Beth, that happens all the time. There have been times when I had designed a new towel, right? And I swear it's beautiful. I love it. And I'm like, I mean, I remember when I was in Florida, and my dad was ill and stuff, had my laptop with me in the hospital. I was creating all these new designs. And Nancy would look at me because I would do it. I'd be like, oh, bestseller. This is going to be a bestseller. And I would be like, yeah. And I would save all the designs and everything, right? Well, okay. Then when I come back home and stuff, stitched it out, put it out, there's still not one. I was like, okay, I guess it wasn't. Sometimes what you find is so cute, people don't like it. And then it goes the opposite. there have been times when I made something where I'm like, simple, whatever, let me see. And then next thing you know, everybody loves it. And I didn't really think it was that great. So, I mean, you'd be surprised. You would really be surprised. Oh, my husband knows how much I want to be done. When having a bad day, he says 2 weeks. Makes me laugh. 2 weeks from Money Pit movie. Yeah, this can be a money pit if you're not careful. That is for sure. Oh, you can't press the mug twice. It'll mess up. Ah, okay. I was wondering. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if you were able to do that, but I guess not. Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, Bob, how you doing? Embroidery is art. Sublimation is having to pay $1,000 to turn your bedroom into the world's least effective sweatshop. Yeah, sublimation is not my thing either. I don't. I just don't like doing that. How do you know to change the weight thread? It depends on the design. It depends on the design that you're working with. Okay. I do have Lori on the channel. If you do a search on 60 weight thread, I have several videos on there where I show you some designs and I tell you when you should know when you should be going from a 40 weight to a 60 weight. And it's not just changing the weight of the thread, it's also the size of the needle as well. Okay, so it depends on what you're doing, okay, and the design that you're working with. Okay. Because the thing is, the reason why you want to do that, okay, now I'll explain a little further, is that if you have a design that has small details in there, okay, that is really when you're going to want to, in those areas, use 60 weight thread. If you go ahead and do the whole design in 40 weight, what you're going to notice is the details are not going to be very clear. Okay. And if you watched any of my videos of where I have done embroidery for businesses like logos and stuff like that, in some of the videos, you'll see how clear everything looks. But I do explain where I use 40 weight and where I use the 60 weight thread. Okay. And where I change the needle size. So, you have to know when to use what weight thread and what size needle thread, because it helps to make the embroidery design look crisp and clear, because that's what you need. You don't want something to look blurry. Okay. It shouldn't look blurry or anything. It should look nice and clear. Okay. Oh, I referenced you on Facebook in a group where a novice took an order for embroidering on 50 sweaters without understanding knits. Oh, and small fonts. Yeah, see. And that's so important, Debbie. It's like you gotta know what you're doing. You really truly do. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you ever get an order and someone says, hey, I want you to embroider this for me, and you don't feel comfortable, don't take the order. I don't. I mean, I think I told you guys the story about the lady that she crocheted. She hand crocheted some blankets, and then she wanted me to embroider the blankets. Now, first of all, I knew she hand crocheted it, And I said, no, I ain't touching that. And the reason why is, if I mess that up, there is no way that I was going to be able to replace that. Okay, I don't know how to hand crochet, and I could only imagine how long it took her to do that. The second was, when I looked at it, I was like, I could see the needle getting caught. Or I was like, I could put water soluble stabilizer on top, but it looked like it had like little spaces. I didn't know how it was going to look. And I didn't want to chance it. So I told the lady no. So the lady went and she drove like an hour and a half, something like that. She found another place and they did it for her, right? And then she texted me back and she goes, look, they were able to do it. And I said, good for them. I said, I'm not willing to take that risk. I'm not. Because I'm going to tell you something. If I would have jacked up not one of those blankets, if I would have jacked it up, it would have been a problem. I know it would have been a problem. Sometimes it's best to just avoid it. Okay. Now, if it was, I was going to say if my sister told me to do it, but I don't even think I would do it for my sister, because I wouldn't know the amount of time that Nancy had took to create that item. You know what I would tell Nancy? Let me create a patch and then you could sew it on. How about that? Let's do that. That I'll do. Okay. I'll create a patch and we can sew it on. And I'm going to be honest with you. And I even gave that option to her. I told her I could do patches. You know, if you want, we could get leather patches and I can embroider the name on the leather patch. And then you sew it on the blanket. She didn't want that. She wanted the actual name on the blanket. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. Just no way. Because my thing is, I'm not going to risk it. I just didn't want to risk it. Let's see. They're so amazing. Made it all natural. Oh, helped my throat when I was sick. I'm going to have to try that. I'm going to have to definitely try that and stuff. Oh, you guys talking sublimation. It's just not my thing. I just don't. I don't want to do that. I just love embroidery. Embroidering that's my area. That's what it is. Hey, Ozzy, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. This past year, I have not purchased that many designs due to copyright issues. I buy designs to make and sell on my products, but so many digitizers have been doing copyright stuff. Yeah. You can, one of the things that I always do, Diane, is when I do buy embroidery designs, I always make sure that I read that the person that created the design doesn't mind for you to use it to sell products. Always make sure you look for something like that. And if you don't see it in the listing, reach out and ask. Okay? And stuff. Because if they tell me, no, you can't, then I'm like, oh, then I'm not going to buy the design. Unless it's a design that I want for myself personally. Then right there I would say, oh, okay, then, it's just for me. And in that case, I really wouldn't ask. I wouldn't even care about the copyright because I'm just doing it for me. But if it's something that is to sell, then, I always look. So you gotta be careful and stuff. Hey, Elizabeth, how are you? Where do you store and how do you keep them organized so you know what you have? I actually have a dresser, Angela, in the other room, and the dresser is where all my stuff that I make and I package, I put them inside the dresser. And then the pre-made items, when I have them pre-made, I already have them all folded and put in the plastic if they're standard. If they're the ones that require the name to still be embroidered, I take them off the hoop, but I don't remove the stabilizer on the top and the bottom. And what I do is I just fold it in half and then I put it in one of the drawers. So I have a drawer that has standard items, and then I have a drawer where it's for personalized item, and I just keep them there. Okay. And I just keep all of the same ones together. And when I see that I have less than 5 and I have some downtime, then what I'll do is I'll make up, if like, let's say I have 4, then I'll be like, okay, well, I probably won't do it until they go down to like 2 or 1. Then I'll make another 3 or 2 or whatever. But I try to at least have 5 in hand. That way, when the order comes in, all I have to do is just do the name. But I have them in a dresser. That's where I keep them, in the other room. I have a dresser that used to be Carlito's. I think I'm gonna have to give it back to him though. But oh well. But because he's been looking at it. But that's where I've been keeping it. So yeah. Sorry. Do you have him groomed? Yes, he did. He actually, I don't know if you were asking about Mello, but Mello got groomed last week. Yeah. Hey, Kathy, how are you? I love your embroidery app and online videos. Oh, Beth, you're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying. Hey, BB Grim, how are you? Let's see. Uh-oh. Be careful what you wish for, Jeanette. My ship is primarily children's garments, and it takes a lot of time. My least favorite thing is cutting out the pattern. Angela, that's one thing that I thought about too. Is Miss Banks was me and her talking on the phone, and one day she cracked up because I bought a serger, right? And I said, "Oh, I bought my serger because I want to make my own shirts. I want to, be able to create my own stuff." And I made 2 shirts, and I told her, what I really hate? It takes a long time to cut these patterns out. And she just cracked up. But it does. It takes a long time. And the thing is, it's laying it out, and I really, it's funny because I heard about sewing pattern weights. I wasn't using any pattern weights. I had no idea that the pattern can easily shift as you're cutting. So I learned the hard way that you should use pattern weights, because that way it keeps the pattern on the fabric and it doesn't shift. So I learned that the hard way. There was just so much, but yeah. But I'm just going to take it slow and just enjoy the process. That's, I'm just going to enjoy. That's what this whole journey is for me. Is I just want to enjoy stuff. So, let's see. Practice. Oh, that's a good idea. You have to keep a crafting journal too. Oh, that is a good idea. Oh, is the numbers going up? 51. Let's see. Going down. Oh, I practiced on the Dollar Tree. Oh, she has. So you should have. Yes, so Marlene, you should have the scanning capability on your machine. You should have that. And stuff. Yes, it is similar. It is similar to that. Oh, yes. Tebow. I keep forgetting about that place. Yeah. I keep forgetting about that. Let's see. I am trying to go down to read. Let's see. And once received, if good, I reorder large amount. Hey Denise, how are you? Hey Miss Joseph. Started with crochet. Everybody's talking about different stuff here. Fonts can also be subject to copyright form. Yep, they sure can. Everything can. You got to be very, very careful. I'm on her Google Calendar every Friday. We're always hanging out on Fridays. I like these Fridays. I really do. I like hanging out with you guys and sharing, you know, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, and all that stuff. Yep. You're not alone, Denise. People are always trying to get me to do copyright items. I refuse. I'm not getting sued over it. Yep. Denise, absolutely. Yes. And I run into that issue too. And you know, a lot of crafters do. People that do the Cricut, people that do sublimation and all that kind of stuff and everything. You got, you know, to me, it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. It's not. I mean, you know, I seen some people do it. Like sometimes you'll go on Etsy and you see like Disney stuff, you know, Harry Potter stuff. And you even got to be careful with the fabric. All right. Like I know some people, I remember there was one time a big debate on, hey, I bought this fabric that, you know, is Disney fabric, right? And then I took the fabric, cut it up, and I created a pouch. And I went to sell it on Etsy, you know, and but next thing you know, they got a copyright. Well, one of the things you got to realize is when you're buying that type of fabric, a lot of times you'll see on the salvage, it'll say for personal use only, which means that they're selling you this fabric with this licensed character on it, but it's so that you can make stuff for yourself. It's not for you to take that fabric and sell things using that fabric. An example of that happened to a lady a while ago on Etsy. What she was doing was she was creating certain items in her shop with Harry Potter fabrics, right? So she was going to Joann's and she was, you know, and everywhere she was getting all these Harry Potter fabrics, and she was making like pouches and pillowcases. She was making a whole bunch of stuff. And then next thing you know, she was making a lot of money until, I don't know how, but I guess Etsy found her out, right? And, sent her a warning. And she took down the item that they told her to take down. But I guess what happened was when they looked at her shop in more detail, they noticed the whole shop was nothing but with Harry Potter theme. And next thing you know, it's funny because I remember she did a video talking about it. But one of the things that went through my mind was, it was kind of like, in my mind, a blessing in disguise, because I think she was a school teacher or something like that. She was actually thinking about quitting her full-time job so that she could do the Etsy full-time, because she was making that much money. But then all of a sudden, the shop shut down. Etsy just shut it down. So I was thinking to myself, well, thank God they shut it down when they did, because I was thinking, what if she had quit her job, kept running it, and then it shut down? She would have had squat, nothing, At least now she still had a full-time job, But that happens. So you got to be really, really careful, guys. You got to be really, really careful. I mean, there's just so much out there. Like even with the laser printing and all that kind of stuff and everything, you just got to be real careful on what you do and stuff like that, you know. Companies often outsource copyright disputes and have random yeah. Yeah, I tell you what though, I ain't messing around with that stuff. No, it ain't worth it. It just ain't worth it. I prefer to just really just be creative, do my own thing, and have fun with it. That's it. I'm just not doing it. It's just not my thing. I don't roll that way. Anyway, guys, I am going to call it the night. What time is it? Oh, it is 10:30. So it's embroidery happy hours. I know I talk a lot. I do talk a lot. But anyway, guys, I really do hope you guys enjoyed today. I'm really excited about next week. Next week is our show and tell for 2024 is Esther's gift exchange. So I am pretty excited. I cannot wait to see what everybody got. Yeah, I'm super excited. So I hope you guys are ready, and I hope everyone is receiving their gifts. And hopefully, you know, we'll be able to show off everything. Okay. I have not gotten my gift yet, so I hope I get one. If not, that's all right. I got a gift from Becky, you know. She sent me something. So yeah, so hopefully everyone does get their gift like they're supposed to. And we're gonna have really a lot of fun next Friday. So I'm looking forward to next Friday. I really am, because that's gonna be a lot of fun watching everybody show off what they got. I always get really excited about that, because it's such a special feeling. It really is, you know, especially when you create stuff for other people all the time, and this time somebody created something for you. So that's like pretty cool. So guys, have a good night. Hope you enjoyed today's topic, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing, and I will talk to you guys next Friday so we can look at all those fabulous gifts. So you guys have a good one. You guys take care. Love you all. Bye. Have fun making those Christmas gifts. Bye.